where we talk
Talk the talk and walk the walk.
So today we're okay. Today we're going to be discussing the time that Molly May said we have the same 24 hours, and the time that Kim K said
Work harder to the bitches.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this?
How dare they?
I think that's cheeky. Like, I think that is so cheeky. Like, both of them, how dare they?
The audacity.
How very dare they? Like, why do me and Molly May why does she think we have the same 24
Is
hours?
it because they're white?
Before even that, I just know they come from some type of privilege anyway. Does Molly May come from Canning Town like me, Newham? Does she? She doesn't. Trust me.
Did Kim Kardashian not fuck for free and sell video and then become
So
popular?
how can you tell
I
us
think
to
you
work
guys-
harder?
We don't have the same
You
24
guys'
hours.
energy
We
is
really
giving.
don't. We
You guys,
never have. We never will. We don't.
okay, I've seen so many people present this argument, but my thing is like, gosh, like, hold on. Alright. No, but for real, listen to this here. It's interesting that everyone has this kind of like stance. Let's even focus on Molly May. First and foremost, they're both white women, yeah, and we're in the western part of the world. So whether it's America or the UK, that's where we are. And I feel like for people like ourselves, we'll be like, well, yeah, you're privileged. It's probably easier for you to say that. But I don't think they're wrong. I think people, if we were to remove race from it, because I saw white people reacting quite negatively to both of them, I think working class people have a problem with people who come from wealth telling them to work harder.
Rightly
But
so.
I personally don't have a problem with that. Also, just to really hone in a little bit, the real question here is it okay to dismiss the efforts of someone who comes from privilege? Is it because basically people were saying like Kim K didn't work hard, and I'm saying what, because you come from money, does it mean that any efforts you made to become further successful?
No one's saying
Yeah,
that.
but
Just
a
lot of
don't
people
tell
did.
us
Yeah.
to
But
work
why
harder.
not? But why not though?
No.
You have to put it into perspective. Like, when you don't come from a lot, you are working to gain every single inch, right? So when somebody comes from more,
Yeah.
right? It's cheeky. It's like, it's a lack of humility. Like, you have no right telling me, because your
Rihanna
world
can tell
and
me
your
to work harder.
views are not the same
As
as
an
mine.
immigrant,
Do you get what I'm saying? There
she can tell me to work
are
harder.
people that are affluent that come
Yeah.
from the same stories as people that.
Okay, you know what, yeah? Sorry, you're right. Let's break this down into two. Let's spend half of this talking about the same 24 hours, and let's spend the other half talking about work harder, but from someone's privilege. Let's start with 24 hours. Do we have the same 24 hours, all of us?
No.
Why?
Because as a affluent person, your 24 hours could be,
Molly May wasn't affluent to begin with.
again, I can only speak of the Molly May that I know. Before Love Island and the affluent Molly May that I know of, based on what I see on social media, I didn't know who the fuck Molly May was, right? So the person I do know is well-to-do. I didn't know how you had the credentials to even get the job that you did get.
Well, she had a
And
following.
Facts.
She was an
I'm not
influencer.
saying,
She was an
again,
influencer.
she
an
might do,
influencer
but I
does not
didn't
make
know
you-
that she had the credentials to
Because
get
she's an
that
influencer,
job.
what does that mean?
No, you know what? It's easier to bust. I know this because I used to be an influencer.
I agree with
It's
you.
easier to bust as an influencer.
You're still an influencer, yeah.
As like a white.
Of course,
slim
yeah, of course,
girl.
yeah,
No,
of
I'm
course.
Then
talking
like
about
a
work
black-
experience, like.
No, but it bust her on. He means it was.
Before
easier
she
to
got on
get
Love Island, she already had a bit of a
Because she was an
profile.
influencer.
Not to us, but to
To her
It
world.
was
her
easier
following.
for her.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah, and also it's easier for her to be a bigger influencer.
I'm
than
even
a
talking
black
about the
girl,
job
for
that
instance.
she got.
Which
that
was-
position,
The-
the creative
she-
director.
right,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
Little
of
Things.
course.
Right.
I'm like, what
Are you
credentials
qualified
does
for
she
that?
have to that?
She's not,
Like,
she's not.
I'm sorry. Come
not.
on.
I get what you're saying, but the reason why...
And sorry, quickly, going back to the question you asked me, do we have the same 24 hours in a day? Like, you see, when you're surviving, your 24 hours looks different to when you're thriving.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that one.
If I'm riding the range, I wake up every day and I get into my range and I go to whatever it is the fuck that I'm doing. My stresses in life, no matter, we still have stresses, are different.
'Cause you got
To
bad suspension.
The person that's waking up and they might have to get the bus, for example, or they might have to walk, or they don't even know what they're doing with that day. We do not all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's very, very ignorant for somebody who comes from wealth to speak like that.
So why did no one have this energy for Beyonce when we all were saying, oh, we all have the same...
Have you
24
seen
hours as
Beyonce's
Beyonce?
come up?
Yeah,
Have you seen how hard Beyonce even
She
works?
came from privilege. Someone
know
can say
how
that.
No.
She
Have you
works.
seen her come up?
But someone could argue that she came from privilege from the beginning.
Again, you can't say she came from
Why
privilege.
can't
She came from
A
hard work.
She came from a two-parent family.
She came from hard work.
She came from
stability.
educated parents. You
And
know what
this is
I'm
the
saying?
problem with us as black people. When we
Hey,
see-
hey.
Sorry, no, I'm not, and that's not a dig at you or anything that you're saying. It's just black people in general.
Hey.
right? when we have stability, when we have two-parent families, when we have what you call as the norms of the family working network, it's almost like, oh my God,
I know.
it's an abnormality. Like it's not like as if she was well off because she had the norms of life. Like she had a family. She had a family in that was there. They worked hard. If you see their come up, you can tell that both parents aided her, aided the people around her to work hard, to graft, to be what she is today. So we can see that hard work. Molly-Mae, again, like I said, she might have grafted.
Apparently
she might
both
have
her parents
done
are
all of
coppers. Like, that's not a lot of money.
Who?
As Molly-Mae's parents apparently are both
But
police
she
officers.
busts. That's why I'm talking about
Again,
the influencing thing.
In Britain today,
She buzzed off the
right,
influencing
there
thing,
are
then Love Island,
two
it
middle-class
was
people
They're
that
doing
are
alright,
working,
they're doing
doing
alright,
all
they're doing
right.
alright, yeah.
It's different to the person that your parent can't even get a job, or your parent's an immigrant,
you know
and they're
what I
trying
mean?
to
Like-
feed you.
But that does not
you can't
mean you
tell
don't have
me
the
that
same
we have.
24 hours.
We don't.
We don't.
Because what my struggle is when I wake up and what I'm thinking about on a
Yeah.
daily basis is different to what you're thinking
You're like,
about,
do you know what I
bro.
mean? I don't have the same 24 hours. as
I'm
you.
thinking about where I'm gonna get my
You
next
got a
meal.
better 24 hours.
You're
yeah.
thinking
Even
about-
when you check your 24 hours on is better than me,
You're-
bro.
we're
Why?
both in year 11. I'm thinking about my next meal. You're thinking about your art lesson.
I'm thinking about my
It's
son.
different kind of
You know what
struggle.
I
Riding
mean?
and
Like,
that. Okay, but struggle is relative, and that's when we get to that Kim Kardashian bit. That's where I have my real argument. But I understand where people come from when they say, "Oh, we don't have the same 24 hours." But I would argue that you're right. We don't have the same 24 hours, but we will have 24 hours a day.
Yeah, facts.
And in that 24 hours, I don't feel like it's wrong for someone who we say comes from privilege to say, "Hey, you need to do X, Y, Z." It might seem easier. And this ties in with Kim K. It's like people say, "Oh, well, you had a head start." If I have a head start, maybe I don't have a head start. Maybe I'm just running a different race to you. I'm running a privilege race. But in my privilege race, I still have to work hard to maintain my privilege or to further my privilege. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about Will Smith earlier on off camera and Jaden Smith, and look all the wonderful things he's doing with his own bottle of water. As weird and twisted as we may think the children are, you're doing something. And yes, you came from privilege, but Jaden apparently...
Imagine they were weird and twisted and didn't come from privilege.
Cool,
Would
but-
he have a bottle of water?
No,
Yeah.
but
Would he have the ability
Like-
to be able to express himself?
Possibly.
Would he have the
When
freedom
you
to
would
be able
come
to
to your
express
have
parents and say,
access.
oh,
And that's why I'm
to the
saying that, because it's a
resources.
perfect example.
Yeah.
They come from wealth and he has options. So no matter how fucked
And
up your life
access.
is,
And
you still have
access.
access to be able to do and express yourself the way you want. When you come from struggle,
But
when you come from
success is not
strife,
guaranteed.
again, I'm not arguing that fact.
Yeah.
It's easy to go into the ifs and buts of everything in life.
But
bro.
we're talking about
But
what
let's be
happens.
specific to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you have wealth, you have not, right? When you do not have, right? And that's why I love the fact that you mentioned Jaden Smith,
Mm-hmm.
because he's a perfect example. He's gone through his trials and tribulations and that.
Mm-hmm.
But because you have wealth, it's easier for you to say, boom, man can come out with a water thing because
I could try.
you want to
I'm
brand.
allowed to fail.
Do you
Like,
think-
you
do
have
think
peace to be
it's
able to
got-
do all of
Do
those
you think
things.
these things would sit easier if they were coming from different people? Do you think, like, for
Yeah,
example,
facts.
if Jay-Z said, work harder,
100.
do you think it will sit right?
Of course
Yeah,
it would. You know why?
Facts.
Or if,
100.
like,
Facts.
100.
I don't know, like a black influencer here
It
who's
would
doing
hit
well,
differently because they
who
come
said
from...
we have the same 24 hours.
I promise you, even if it was a white Professor Green, which is why a lot of people like Professor
Yeah, yeah,
Green,
yeah, yeah,
because it's relatable.
But here's
We're
my
all
argu-
part of that lower class, and this is the beautiful thing about this country of ours.
Mm.
It's not just so much about the racism, it's about the classism. Because
Yeah.
you could have your white bedroom who is just as poor as you or in the
but
same
he's
circle.
still gonna get
but
blind.
he goes through the same things you
So
go through,
here's-
but
here's-
he's just white.
Here's my argument. Here's what I said when. So this is what I find interesting. Like, for example, just quickly bringing in the Kim Kardashian thing. First and foremost, Kim Kardashian was asked what advice would she give women in business, not women in general, women in business. She said, "Yo, work harder," sort of thing. Cool. I
It was the
understand.
energy.
Hear
It was
me
the
out.
energy.
I
Did you
hear-
see the
no,
energy?
Hear me out.
You don't
No.
get
you
fucked
see
free
the
for
energy?
you don't get
just
fucked
because-
for
no,
free
no,
on
wait,
camera
chill, 'cause-
and decide to
chill,
tell
chill,
people
chill, we'll get to
how
that
to
in a
fucking
minute.
walk.
Wait,
You are
wait.
fucking cheeky.
We'll get to that in a
You
minute.
don't get fucked
Hey, bro,
for
bro, bro.
free on camera,
We'll get
and
to
then
that.
you tell people you
Work
must
hard.
go and work
Fucking
hard.
bust.
You fucking cheeky bitch.
Wait.
Yeah?
Did she
You
bust
cheeky
though?
bitch.
Ha,
She's
get
a
it?
Fucking
cheeky
act
bitch.
right.
Wait, leave
Yeah.
it. Wait, chill.
She's a cheeky cat.
Sure, when we get
She's
to that,
cheeky
2 seconds,
cat.
we'll get to the sex.
Fucking
we'll
hell.
talk to the sex tape
Liberties.
in a minute, yeah, but my point
Fucking
is this.
cheeky cat.
We'll get to that.
She wouldn't get away with that in England, I
I'm
promise
rattled.
you.
You don't know
Hear
you're
me out.
rattled.
Hear me out. We'll get to that.
I promise you.
I'm
Hey,
rattled.
chill. We'll get to that in a minute.
It's rattling.
Yo, hear what I'm saying? We'll get to that in a minute. But in the term of someone in her circumstances saying work harder, just to say when you said would it be the same if it was someone else? For example, I was thinking about this when this whole case came out. If Alan Sugar told us to work harder, a lot of people would accept it because his
He's
story
from-
is he's an East End
Yeah,
Cockney
yeah,
guy,
yeah,
never
yeah,
schooled.
yeah, and he did
but
work
Alan
harder.
Sugar is a white man in a white country. So he had a privilege. So our beef is with no, excuse
You're
me,
allowed to have some privilege.
excuse me.
Go on, let him finish.
Our beef is with someone of privilege telling us to work harder. However, that's a white male in a white country. So if
You
you never
answered
had
your
if you
question.
never had the education, and would you be able to get to Alan Sugar's position? Do you know what I'm
answered
saying?
your
If
question.
if a man told women to work harder, they'll say it's
You
you've got a
answered-
privilege as a man. If a pretty woman, forget race,
Mm-hmm,
if we're all the same race, and a pretty woman told, if a pretty influencer told every other girl, regardless of a pretty girl with the ideal body type, told every other girl work harder, they'll be like, oh, but you're skinny and you got
I think
so
you answered
privilege.
it in your own sentence, bro. Like, it's about humility.
Okay.
When you are like Alan Sugar, we know he comes from humble backgrounds to become a big man.
Okay.
Why or not? That's why I said the classism thing.
That's a privilege, though.
Because in this country, right, before the privilege first comes from classism and then this whole racism thing, or racism and this classism thing, which way you look at it. That's what is in our country right now. In other places, you don't really get that as much, right? Alan Sugar fits into that classism story in the sense that lower class Britain doesn't have no, yes, it has race in the sense that this skin color, you can't hide it, right? But it doesn't know race in the sense of we're all poor. White trash is the same as black trash.
No, it's not. But I hear you. Go on.
Again, like I said, your skin color, you can't hide it.
The reason why I say
And you're living in a white country.
The reason
so we're stating obvious.
The reason why I disagree.
But we're both poor, which is why if you've grown up in the States, you have bedrooms that are white as you could, as England.
Can I give you my thoughts?
Right?
Go on,
But he knows
What
your
he's saying.
culture in and out.
Yeah.
Let me give
He
you my
knows your
thoughts.
struggles in and out.
Let me give you my thoughts. I think also some people they will accept it easier if they think this person had a form of a big struggle.
Like me.
Fair
yeah.
enough.
It's
Like you said,
relatability, though.
Beyonce, yes, she had two parents, but we still know she struggled. She worked hard to get there. The reason we don't when we look at Molly May and Kim Kardashian, of course they worked hard, but they didn't struggle in our opinions.
But they worked hard.
They worked hard, but they didn't
the
struggle.
conversation.
But they didn't struggle.
And
Why must you struggle?
working hard is
no, but
subjective.
then don't say work hard.
Guys, working hard is
people working
subjective.
hard?
Yeah.
Working hard
What do you-
is subjective.
What do you even
because
call working hard?
yes, they might have worked hard,
No, they-
but
she still-
working hard from
Okay.
listen, my guys,
In her
working
own
hard
way,
from
she had
here,
photos.
yeah, is one thing. Working hard from here is another thing. And when somebody up
She
here
worked hard to a
is telling
degree.
people how to work down here, it's almost like
Hard work is hard
hold on,
work,
hold on.
though.
I hear
It's
you.
low-key
But it's like
patronising.
it's
not.
yes, it
Yeah,
is.
but some people
And
struggle.
hold on. It's almost like work. You see, when you're a boss, yeah, especially those bosses that get promoted from outside the company, right? They've never done the role themselves. They just get voted in, and they tell you how to do your job, right? But you've never done that job a day in your life, right? The grievance is usually because I know how this job works
Yeah.
in terms of the intricacies of it.
Yeah, I know the
right?
ins and outs of this.
And when you come, yeah, you might be a good manager and all of that, but you don't know how this job works.
You got a young degree and you got a young handshake and you got here and now you're telling me I have
It
to do my
causes
job and you don't know
conflicts,
shit.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with them.
Disagree,
if you're,
but yeah, I
for
hear
me,
you.
this
Yeah, I'm
is
here,
how I'm
I'm
breaking
here,
it down.
I'm here.
If you're up here, right, down here, we don't come from
We've
the
got
same
different
world.
struggles,
We
we've
have
got different-
Our mentality is even the same.
everything.
It's different. So when you're telling me, oh yeah, well,
Work harder.
Are you fucking stupid, my guy? Like, even if you use the word what you just mentioned about education, like you've been educated. Let's say I haven't been educated. How can you tell me I should work harder? I can't even fathom what you're saying. Are you taking a piss?
No, and this is coming from someone who, if anything they want to do, they can
They can
get
do.
help from their parents, from someone. Like even if we have
But just because I
the
have
best
more
business
resources-
idea, we don't even have the money sometimes.
That mentality,
We don't even have the
not
capital to
saying it's
start
your
the
mentality,
business.
that
when I say
is
some people are privileged, they can go to their parents and say, I want to buy a house. I want to do this.
that
They
is
get
the
help.
birth of
Look at the-
capitalism.
Look at the,
if I'm being
the
honest
numbers
with you,
in first-time buyers.
what you are alluding to just now,
Yeah.
whether it's your
Yeah.
opinion or not,
Yeah.
is the birth of capitalism. On that, like, I know, so I can use you. If you don't know, then that's on you.
Yes. Can I tell you a story? Okay. I just have a personal story that I think is relatable to this. Something I saw when I was really young. When I went to a secondary school called St. Anne's, right? And it's a normal school. I don't know what schools you went to, but it's a normal school. And
We went to normal school too, Danny.
yeah, but you might have gone to grammar schools.
Privilege. I'm
Grammar
joking.
schools,
Yeah, no.
right? So it's a normal school.
They sold grams in
And
my school though.
our teachers were decent.
Yeah.
Like once in a while, maybe like once every 2 years or once every 3 years, one person would get into Oxford and Cambridge, for instance. Cool. Then I did decent, very decent in my GCSE. So I went to a selective school in Highgate for my A-levels. And I have never this is the thing about access and resources. So obviously that school was full of posh, rich people, and the way they had easier access to university, I was in shock. I'll give you an example. In my school, we didn't have celebrities visiting us. In that school, for English literature, in one of our lessons, we had Emma Thompson, the woman in Nanny McPhee. She came to read Shakespeare with us. This woman is an A-list celebrity. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking, what is going on? They had a wall where they had pictures of celebrities. This is mean these people have connects. Yeah. Then they used to have this thing. We didn't have this in St. Anne's. It was like this, I don't know what you call it. It was this lecture thing. Anyone could go if they're smart. And it was called How to Get into Oxbridge. I didn't even know the word Oxbridge in St. Anne's. It's obviously, it's like both.
Oxford
it's like
and Cambridge.
It's Oxford and Cambridge. I didn't know, in St. Anne's, I'd never heard this, bro. What is Oxbridge? So it was called Oxbridge. You go in there and they gave you, there was a pamphlet and a teacher, and he was telling you all the tools you need to get into Oxbridge. I'd never seen this in St. Anne's, bro. I was thinking, it was like I was living a different life.
We're
all in the
experiencing
same world.
Yeah.
We're all in the same world, but you lot are basically patterning these lots of lives in a different way that the people in St. Anne's are.
I'll give you a prime example.
So I just feel like,
to even
people
just
don't
come in
understand
on a rough one, yeah? Bruv, Kim Kardashian does sex tape, it goes viral, boom, she comes popular. Bruv, Tiwa Savage the other day, something was a rumor, or whether it's not a rumor or
Different
not.
culture.
Like, bro,
Lost
everybody wanted to
bare
lose
deals.
their minds.
Different culture.
Like,
She lost sponsorships,
Different
everything.
culture.
Lost
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Different culture.
everything. Like,
Again, it comes from, listen.
That's not privilege, that's culture.
Do you know why I think it is privilege? Because Kim's dad was an exceptional lawyer.
That's got nothing to do with her fucking. If a Nigerian
You can get away with things when you're
No.
affluent, is what I'm trying to show you.
Tiwa Savage
When
is
you
rich.
don't come from wealth, right, which is what I've learned my whole life. If you don't have
But she
dough,
wouldn't get
if you
away
don't
with
come
that.
from wealth.
The reason why she didn't.
She has, in my opinion, she's got away with it.
Bro, she didn't get away with it.
No,
because-
she got away with it,
The
but
difference
she
is
suffered from
the
it.
difference between Tiwa Savage and Kim Kardashian, because someone presented this argument to me before, is, yo, you're right, and almost this intertwines with the whole conversation when we were talking about witchcraft. I don't want a blanket statement. White people say white people accept this or black people accept that. I'm Nigerian, you're Nigerian. You're very loud about that. If you come from a prominent Nigerian family, I always ask people, okay, you keep talking about Kim Kardashian's sex tape. If you're from a prominent Nigerian family, your dad was a lawyer, and you went and did sex tape with a rapper in Nigeria, would you be Kim Kardashian today, where she is today? No, you fucking will not. You would have been rubbish and exiled from your family. So when people say, oh, she just had sex and she got to where she is, it still took work. Another thing I want to
Where's
say
Kim
is this,
Kardashian
point to
from?
say, hear me out, yeah? Listen to this, yeah? Cool.
It took some work.
Cool. It took
Not
hard
a
work.
lot.
It took hard work. And the reason why I say it took hard work and we brush it off, we brush off influencers, that's not a real job. I'm pretty sure.
no, it's a real job and it's
No,
hard.
no. You would understand it, but a lot of people out there are like, you're just taking pictures every day. Like,
No,
what-
it's so hard. I can't even commit.
But
Like-
that sounds nuts to someone else who's a labourer. You're telling me it's hard to take pictures every day.
But when
they're
you
so
see
far
somebody
removed.
bust
But
off
they're so
getting
far
fucked,
removed
then
from
what do
what
you
the
say to
girls are
that?
doing. They're like, they don't do anything. They just take pictures because they're pretty. Yeah.
No, but they have
Some-
to get ready every day. Get
I agree,
photographed
and I'm
every day.
agreeing with you, but my point, you're helping me prove my point. So someone sees the pretty white girl and says, you didn't work hard.
But it's easier for a
It's
pretty
easier
white
in
girl
our
to
opinion,
bust-
but you don't know what she's dealing
I
with
work in
mentally.
fashion. I'm telling you.
No, I'm not saying it's harder for her to
easier.
bust in the industry,
yeah, it's-
but it's hard work, like Lucas said earlier, it's subjective. You don't know what it takes for me to get up every day and do this. You don't even know if I like my life. Okay, cool. What about
But
the
she
rich?
can bust easier,
Hear me
though.
out. So what? Busting
But
is not
if
everything.
your
Hear
carpet
me out.
is smooth,
Yeah, but
then
what
you
are you
can
what are
relax
you
with
really
them,
saying?
innit?
Are you
What?
saying we have the same 24 hours
I'm
and we
saying
must
we-
work harder? So they
Do you
want.
know
Like,
brands
are
pay?
you agree
I'm
with
Are you
that?
agree with them or you're not?
I
Brands
agree.
pay
I
black workers.
yes,
Yeah, are you agree
yes,
with them?
I agree with both
Do you know
statements.
brands pay
Hear
black
me out.
workers
Sure,
less?
I understand all of that.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say there's hurdles.
No one's arguing that. I'm arguing about the term hard work. Okay, cool. Let me present another argument to you. When this whole Kim Kardashian, yes, to answer your question, I agree that I don't care who tells me to work harder. I don't care who tells me I have the same 24 hours. I don't think they're wrong because that's my sentiment. Here's what I want to present to you. So when the whole Kim Kardashian thing was going on, a lot of people were saying, you didn't work hard. You come from privilege. So I really want to have that conversation with you guys. Do you think that because you come from privilege,
You
your
don't work
hard
hard?
work is, you
You
don't work
don't
hard?
work
I-
as hard. Like,
Right, and
don't
that's-
you think you don't
and
work as hard? Let me just
this-
take this.
okay.
Like when you come from privilege, you don't work as hard as everyone else. Like Lani said, you have access. You just have access. You have like a head start.
Let me present you a question. If I'm a rich kid in private school, but I'm thick as shit, right? Do I not have to, even if I have a private tutor and and daddy wants me to take over his company one day, do I not have to work hard to fill in the shoes that I'm expected to fill in? Or is it dismissed
certain
because
extent,
I don't have
to a certain
You're
to?
working hard to
'Cause
prove
I'm
to
not
your dad
Duchesne.
you're
To an
extent,
worthy,
but these rich
but you're
people
not
also
working
buy-
like you're still okay.
Do you know rich
So
people?
what if
No,
I'm
you're
okay
still,
though?
you're
You
still
guys-
gonna be alright.
Do you guys
Am
know
I
that rich
mentally
people-
okay?
Can I say
I'm still-
something?
Guys, do you know
I'm
what's
saying.
Wait, do you
You're
guys
saying-
know?
I
Today-
can't even
today-
believe
Wait,
that you
do you
actually-
guys know?
do you know why?
Wait,
Do you know why?
I want to say something about
You don't know
school.
poverty.
Wait,
I don't know
wait,
poverty.
wait.
I promise you.
Do you
I don't know poverty.
Do you know why?
Listen,
You know me, bro.
Do you know? No. Do you know the reason why I say you don't know poverty?
I don't know struggle.
You know English struggle. You don't know real poverty. If you really know poverty, yeah.
You think
like,
that
You're
or
not
you
gonna
know
agree with
this
these
because you're
people.
saying it
Okay,
like you know me.
I'm,
Like my story.
Based on what I'm getting, you must not.
Well, maybe I just have empathy and I understand humans.
I get it. Maybe.
Yeah.
What I'm getting though,
Yeah.
and the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because, like I said, I spent from 5 years old to 10 years old in Nigeria, right? And I saw how you live.
Yes.
Right? If you live in poverty, my
Real
bro,
struggle or like whatever you call it. Yeah.
nobody from wealth can tell you how to live, in my opinion. Reason being, the mentality is different. When you have money, you don't think about feeding your belly straight away when you wake up.
Our stresses are too.
Your stress is different.
The struggles are different. The struggles are the struggles.
And I use that example.
No, but even
and
just
I use that
when
example
you wake up in the
because
morning, like,
First world
like,
problems are still problems.
Listen, I use that example because, bro, when you wake up, bro, if the first thing in your mind is not worrying about the food you're going to eat, you're good. There's people that, do you know what I'm saying? That their struggle is real. So when you have somebody like a Kim Kardashian, and the problem is not about the hard work, and this is where I was going to disagree with you, but at the same time, I get it, right? Yes, hard work is hard work. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, hard work is hard work, right? But it's also down to what kind of hard work you engage in.
Of course.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now, if you're somebody that, like I said, and I keep referring to this, Kim Kardashian has worked hard. Nobody can say she hasn't worked hard. This woman's become a lawyer.
Yeah, she's built loads of brands and stuff like that.
But when you start talking and start comparing yourself to people that you can't relate to, you lose that humility, which is where now people now start saying, you know what, hang on, you're taking a piss, you little cunt.
As a man,
And this is where I'm going to say you're taking a piss, you little cunt. In the sense that before you even started doing law and working hard and doing
You
all
already
this
had
stuff,
certain
you was
things
up there with the
planned.
Paris Hiltons of this world.
your dad was a big
You was
lawyer
getting
for,
fucked.
what's his name?
Your dad
not
was
OJ.
a hard
OJ
worker.
Simpson, her dad
Your
was
dad
a
was a lawyer. Your dad was a man of esteem. And your culture is one of esteem. From what I know, Middle Eastern, if I'm correct or not, I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But you did your thing, owned it, grew from it, and then you did your own hard work within your realm on that rich one.
as a man, can you tell a woman to work harder?
My bro.
As a man, can you tell a woman to work harder?
No.
Can we tell you to work?
No.
I would,
The
I,
answer is
I, I, do you
no,
know
'cause
what?
we're talking about male privilege, innit?
I would say yes.
Because we're
but
talking about male privilege.
It's not
that's
going to
what
be
I'm saying.
something that is popular opinion. The reason why I would say yes is because at the end of the day, like if I know you, I can say that you're lazy, and I can say that you're not working hard enough.
Can you give
But you
advice to
can't say-
women?
you can't say a
Can
blanket
you,
statement
as
on
a
the
black
internet.
man,
I can't say
You
a
can't say a
blank.
blanket on the
I can't say a
internet.
blanket
You can't
statement
on
about
the
people that I
internet.
do not know
Yeah,
that
you can't say that.
women aren't
if
working
they
hard
ask
enough. I
you,
can't
okay,
say
The
that.
answer is no, he can't.
Why?
No, he can't.
Of
I
course
can't
he
say that. Of
can't.
course I can't say that. It's common sense. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's
I don't
the
know.
same thing.
You lot can't
He
tell
can't,
us
he
that.
can't, he
Of
doesn't
course
know the
not.
struggle for women.
I don't know
many
their struggles.
reasons.
Also,
It's
can
the
I-
same way women can't say men got to work harder.
They
Or
do.
men
That's
have
what
to be
I
No, they
provided.
can.
I don't
You
think-
don't know what it's like for men now.
Fair enough.
You don't know what
but
my
if a
struggles
woman,
are.
okay, cool. So, but on the flip side, if a woman was given advice to influencers, regardless of gender, and let's say it's a black woman, and then they say, oh, what advice would you give to anyone who's trying to make it in the influencer industry? And she says, you guys just really need to work harder. As a man, am I supposed to now take offense because I'm a man, you don't know my struggle as a black man, blah, 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 blah? Or can I be like, you know what, maybe she's right, maybe
There's
there's
different
something.
rules for women and men, though.
But is it possible that I think we take these snippets?
You haven't been oppressed.
I think, as a man,
Men, you didn't have to fight for women for your rights to vote and stuff, so you
Lani.
can't come. Women get paid less in the workplace. It's a stupid question.
Yeah,
Okay,
This
no.
is a
no
stupid
brainer.
question.
Okay, wait.
Tell us.
We can tell you to work
Okay, but you
harder.
don't- okay, no,
I'm
no.
not saying I would do it.
Why would you
I'm
tell us to
answering the
work hard?
question.
Why-
I'm
okay.
answering the question. question. Women can. I haven't spoken that much,
Women
so I don't know
can tell
why
guys
you
to work
can't
harder,
huff and
but we
puff.
can't
I'm
tell you
being
to work
quiet.
harder.
No,
listening
I
to
know,
you.
but you huffed and puffed.
I didn't huff and puff.
I'm just answering your question. I haven't
I'm
spoken that
literally
much.
listening to you, bro.
Okay, cool. It's just different. We had what's it called? We had to march, suffragettes. There you go. We've done suffragettes. You can't chat. You're not the same. You're not the same. You can never tell a woman to work harder ever. But we can. It's a double standard. We can tell you to do that. Okay, cool. There's your answer.
So what I was saying, right, is you say men haven't struggled, but I'm a black man in the UK. So can you tell me I haven't struggled? Because is it okay for you to dismiss my experiences?
This is how it goes, baby. White men. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. White men.
White
privilege.
women.
White men.
White women.
Black. A lot of people believe black men. White women, and then black.
You think
black
black
women.
men have
I've
more
heard a lot of
privilege than
people say
white
that.
men?
Because a lot of people think men have more. Men in
Privilege.
general have more privilege.
You
than
think
women.
it's white men?
I'm just telling you what people I've seen on the
and I'm
internet.
asking you. You think it's white men, black men, than white
I
women?
personally, I'm not sure about the two in the middle.
Emmett Till was rolling in his
sure.
grave.
I'm not sure about the two in the middle, but what I know is that black women.
Emmett Till
are
is
the low-
doing the
listen,
stanky leg.
listen,
I'm listening.
I'm
How
not
can you
sure-
shout with this cool
I'm
shit?
not sure
No,
about the two in the
guys.
middle, but
Let's
I
go
think
back.
black women at the
Yeah.
bottom.
Let's bring it back.
White
Let's
men at
let's
the
bring it
top.
back.
Cool.
Let's bring it back.
Go on.
Should we spend the last bit on Kim K?
Yeah, go
Because
on.
obviously we spoke a lot about Molly May. Or do you think we should?
Let's go. Do you know what? I think we should all go around one at a time.
You know my
and
stance.
just base it on that. Okay, boom.
What's your
Kim
summary?
K's told you have to work harder. What's your response to that?
Personally, and I'm talking to her if she ever watches this, like you cannot tell me to work harder. You done a sex tape, you come from a good home, you're also not the same color as me, and like so many different things. Like she just can't. I just find it so disrespectful. I find it patronizing. If it was coming from someone that I deem, like you said, has come from probably a bit more struggle, or someone the same color as me, like I can even, no, it doesn't even have to be a black woman, like it just can't be Kim K. I just don't, she's only gone back and done the law degree just to like I don't even trust that law degree. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
When you got
Saying
PhD,
it's
Like I'm not gonna, like you can buy these things, like,
deets.
like
Nah,
I don't,
Yeah, you can buy. You
You
can
can
buy
actually
them.
you know what I'm trying to say? So Kim
Privileged
K is
people buy
not
shit.
somebody, like, it
You can't
angers
take
me so
it. You
much,
can't
I
take it from
even
her.
get my
You
words
can't take
out.
it from you. Yeah.
It angers me so much, this subject on Kim K. I can't even explain. I'm even going to sweat right now. That's how angry I'm getting. Like, she just can't tell me to work harder. She's not a role model. I'm not saying I'm even a role model, because I wouldn't even go around telling certain people to work harder. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But she just can't tell me to work harder. That's just it.
From a personal perspective, I think personally, from when you can talk for the next person or the next group of people about what they should do or how they should be, it's like, especially when you come from such a position of influence and power and money, and like you can freely fuck somebody, people act like they've forgotten about it.
They ain't forgotten. They remind all the
No,
time.
but like,
I get what you're saying. I'm
If
just
this
being
was
that
somebody
guy.
else-
I'm just being that guy.
do you get what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, it's cheeky. You're a cheeky bitch, in my opinion, and I'm gonna say it. You're a cheeky bitch. Secondly, I feel like it's also us as a people. Like, we give you lot too much room to come in and just chat shit with regards to what we got going on. Like, yo, what gave you the audacity to think that, yeah, you can tell people, oh yeah, work harder?
Did
Like,
she even
did you
add any
forget when you were
advice?
sucking Ray
Did
J's
she just say
cock?
work
No,
harder?
no,
Guys,
there was a
finishing.
lot more to it. Lani, go on your summary quickly.
Oh, my summary. I'm not as mad as you lot. I think
Yeah.
it's cheeky, but I'm not as mad. She
Yeah.
worked hard in her own way
Yeah.
to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And I think
facts.
she should preach to her lot.
Yeah.
Her Beverly Hills lot. That's my
So
opinion.
basically, okay, cool.
Yeah.
My summary is I
You're even
accept-
married to
I
Kanye
accept
West.
anyone trying to give me a bit of motivation, and I feel like people are too sensitive, and sometimes you sometimes forget the messenger, focus on the message, and take what's necessary for you, and that's it. And if it doesn't apply to you, and you don't feel that person is in a position to give you that message, click off and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
If you're in a position
saying.
to chat. If you're not in a position to chat, don't chat shit.
But everyone has
Simple.
Wi-Fi these days, and everyone chats.
So don't chat shit. That's what we're
saying.
saying.
Thanks, guys.
Fucking
Remember to
hater.
like and subscribe. That's where we talk the talk and walk the walk.